Good morning, Mr. Charles. Welcome to Hump Day at Churchill Downs.
Yeah, we got some rock and roll bringing us in this time, huh?
Yeah, so a little bit of change up on music there. I'm going to subscribe to a new a new music provider shortly, so we'll have a lot more music variety, and it should be a lot of fun. We're looking to make some big improvements in 2023 to what we're doing, add some new content, looking to have a ginormous year. Hopefully we have a ginormous day today at Churchill Downs. Since you're in Kentucky, I know you're probably pretty far away from Louisville, but anyway, you can give us a on-the-spot weather report. What's it like there, Dan? I think it's supposed to snow or a little bit of rain, but otherwise
Yeah,
okay.
it's a little snow tonight, late tonight, but it's going to be a high of 40 today.
Hmm.
So it's a little on the chilly side, especially when the wind kicks up.
Poor guy. I feel bad for you. I mean, I live in Chicago, so we had a little bit of snow yesterday, and the biggest negative is everybody acts like they've never seen it before when they drive. So,
Oh, yeah.
whether you've had no snow or 20 inches of snow, the driving is the same. So, somebody we have seen before was Kendrick Carmouche. She was on our show last night with Sean and I. Always a lot of fun to talk with Kendrick. Definitely a guy who's earning his money. He's going to crest over $10 million in earnings this year. If you haven't seen that show yet, while you're here at Horse Racing Radar TV, make sure you check that out. And also, while you're here, please hit the like button, the subscribe button, the bell. You've heard it 1,000 times in every other show, so you know the routine by now. But please help us out. The thumbs up and the subscriptions. And then a little bit later on tonight at 8 o'clock p.m., going to have on a good friend of the show again tonight, CC Perkinson. She's always a lot of fun, and it should be another fantastic show. She's got a couple horses running today at Turf Paradise, so make sure if you are betting at Turf Paradise, you take a look at Cece's entries. Again, little hint, if Cece's wearing red pants, the horses are ready to go. Any other color, run the other way. Ain't that right, Cece?
And, like last night's interview was very good. Kendrick is a very good person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had a lot of fun talking to him, too. We saw him sitting out on a chair when we went over to Saratoga in the summer. And we sat down and probably talked to Kendrick for about 15, 20 minutes. Yeah, he's always very accommodating, very nice guy indeed. All right, so hopefully we can be nice guys today, Charles, and do our job. And that job is to hit some picks today at Churchill Downs. Are you ready to go?
Of course. And you know what? Team Terry and Charles is going to just keep moving along.
Well, I'm closing the gap pretty fast, so you guys better hustle up. So if you haven't made your picks already, we'll make today the last day. We'll give you one last chance to go to our social sites down there. Horse Race, the number 2 day at Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Pick Team Terry and Charles or Team Rich.
No, you had it right first time. Terry and Charles. It'd be good.
And whichever team wins, we'll pull the name out of the hat, and you'll get some free Horse Racing Today gear. We'll send you a hoodie. So hopefully you're on the pick the right team, Rich. I'm making a comeback. I'm going to be like LL Cool J. Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years.
Ah, jeez.
Here we go. Race number 1, Churchill Downs. 1 mile, claiming $12,500 for a purse of $39,000, Charles. So they're going to put a little bit of money at stake here. The way to the winner's circle so far for a mile at Churchill Downs looks like Stalkers have done the best. Post positions 4 through 7 have outperformed all the others. You get a slight penalty, 1, 2, 3, and 8 and out. So if you like horses, you're breaking ties, look through 4 through 7. We do have a scratch in race number 1. It was a significant scratch for me. The 6 horse was likely to be my favorite. Again, real quick, just to run down, E-horses are horses that need to be on the lead. So think of them as the pilot of the plane. If they're not the pilot, they usually don't win. EP horses can be the pilot or the co-pilot. So they'll run first or second or third, usually no more than 2 lengths from the leader at the quarter-mile marker. Pressure horses are usually co-pilots or almost always co-pilots. They run about, they don't take the lead. They don't fly the plane, but they're usually within 2 lengths of the leader at the quarter-mile marker. The PC horses have the characteristics of the co-pilot, but also ride and coach sometimes. They can sit in the back and then come forward, try to sneak through that first-class curtain. And then finally, the Seahorse are always coach riders. They're in the back. They try to make their way there to the front. And again, the 6 horse looked to me like it would be the one on the front. Not in this race today. So this race, probably 4 and the 5 compete for the lead. But neither one has really outstanding early pace. Of the horses that do have some late pace, you're looking at the 2 and the 4. So, Charles, how do you see this race playing out to kick off race 1 at Churchill Downs? You know, I didn't even put that thing up there. So there it is. Forgive me. Charles, prompt me, my man.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was finishing up
You were
my.
enthralled by what I was saying. I know. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I was listening. Okay, but yeah, the scratches. I kind of was like you. I had the 6 in there with my mix, so it kind of screwed things up a little bit. But once I went back and restudied it, I am coming up with the 4 as my first choice. This horse has the speed to take this race. This is the second time racing after a layoff. Hot trainer in the last 14 days, so everything's now pointing for that horse to do something. The 2 horse is my second choice. This horse has a little bit more tactical speed. Trainer gets 20%, and this horse is well bet in the last 2 races. And then my third choice here is the 5. This horse drops today, second time after us. This is the second race after a layoff, and has some speed, so he could be sitting right there first or second. So look for this horse at the end. And my final choice today, due to scratches and everything here, the 1 horse, he gets relief for getting off the rail, off the turf, excuse me. And he fits with this type of class of horses. So he might have a shot here to pick up some exotics.
Well, Charles, you're definitely invading my computer again. 4 horse, Make Noise. This thoroughbred ran a top last race speed figure and should be probably as good, most likely better in the second off the sidelines. Number 2, What a Country, has the top Churchill down numbers, but struggles at the distance 5 times out, only a third in there. Number 5 is my third choice. It's Motagali, I guess. That last race was Mota Ugly for sure, but the horse has performed pretty well at the distance, 9 times out with 3 seconds and 3/3. Just looking for that first W in that. And then as same as you, 4-2-5-1. The 1 horse, Celerity, I guess. Not much difference between the rest of the horses in the field and this number 1, except the 1 is carrying 10 pounds less than everybody else. And I think that could be a big difference when they're coming down the stretch. Race 2, 6 furlongs, claiming 10 grand, purse of 32,000. Profile of a winner for 6 furlongs at Churchill Downs. The stalkers, once again, are the way to go. 4 through 7, the best post positions. 1, 2, and 3, and 8 and out. Slight penalties, but not deal killers. This time around, we actually do have the sheet up, so forgive me for getting it wrong in race 1. But race 2, we have a scratch here with the 4 horse, which did have the most late pace. Looking at the way this race sets up, you got 3 in the back that want to pressure or close, 3 in the front, so pretty evenly weighted. The 7 horse and the 1 horse, if you're looking for speed, have the most early pace in this race. Charles, this race also has your best bet, so tell us all about it.
What really made it my best bet is the 4 scratching. I thought it was a 2 horse race, and now I think it's a 1 horse race. It's the 5 horse. This horse has that tactical speed, which is more or less on the closing side of it, but this horse could sit right off of the leaders. Norm Casey, which is an upcoming young trainer, he's getting 18%, but 23% when the horse won last time out. Gets Tyler Gaffleon today, so we'll be seeing that horse on the winner's circle today, I believe. And so my second pick is the 8. This horse drops today. Has that tactical speed, fits with these type of horses, but I still think he's going to be picking up minor awards. And then the 6 horse is my third choice. This one has speed. This one cuts back in distance, and I believe there's a jockey upgrade on this horse for me. So I see the horse going out to the front, but I see the 5 taking over. And then the 2 horse is my final pick in the race. Tactical speed, claim 2 back. This is his 3rd race after a layoff, which is my favorite angle. Horse has some talent, so he should be picking up some of the gimmicks.
Number 5 is going to try to live up to his name in race number 2 at Churchill Downs. Catch Us If You Can. Your best bet's also my top pick. If you look at the race internals last time, they were better in the beginning, the middle, and the end than in the previous start. Horse is walking right up that performance ladder with 4 consecutive speed figure increases and does have the best combination of early pace and late pace. So should be able to run a very complete race here. Number 6. This is probably my motto as a kid. I didn't even look at this name before. Why Behave? At the debut, won at the maiden at Churchill Downs. Trainer Brett Calhoun bringing the horse back to Churchill Downs after going a sprint and then a route. And then when he goes back to a sprint again, hits at 30%. Number 8, Forever Home, my third choice. Won 2 of his last 3 races at Churchill Downs. It does have a nice maintenance workout between races. And then finally, number 2, Zamuda, I guess, maybe, was another one that was better across the board, the beginning and the middle of its last race, and could potentially show more in the third start after a layoff. Race 3 is another race, Charles, that I think kind of got mixed up a little bit with the scratches in here. And if there's anything you like today at Churchill Downs or any other track, please let us know in the comment section. You got questions for us, anything. This is a community. Get involved. Let us know what you think. Race number 3, 7 furlongs, is claiming 25 grand. Ooh, nice purse for this one. $56,000. We take a look at the profile of a winner for 7 furlongs at the Churchill Downs track. We see early speed is the way to go here. So we go away from tactical speed in the shorter route sprints to early speed in the 7 furlong affair. There is a rail penalty. So if you ride the rail, you're going to have to pay. You're going to have to be a little bit better than most. Everything else, post positions play fair. In race number 3, our way to the winner's circle. Again, we have scratches that might impact. Probably would have impacted the outcome of the race. The 4 and the 6 are out. You don't really have a true early type, but if you look down here, you see the 1, the 2, the 4, the 6, where the 4 and the 6 are out. But a lot of these horses have very similar early speed. And then on the way home, the 4 and the 6, which had the most late speed, are out. So the 7, the 5, the 2. This race right here, Charles, I think is extremely competitive because a lot of these horses share a lot of the same characteristics. How do you divide them up?
Yeah, it's a little on the tough side, especially with those 2 scratches. I think they were pretty important scratches there. So I'm going to go with the 1 horse here because I believe he could either take the lead or sit right off of the leader. Has that tactical speed. Claim last time out. Drops after the claim also. So there's an eye opener and gets Tyler. So they're trying to.
Quick question for you, Charles.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times people freak out when there's a claim and a drop, right? They're like, it's suspicious claim and drop. How do you eliminate the suspicion? So what are you looking for to say this is not a suspicious drop?
Well, that's kind of tough because certain trainers do that automatically no matter what. I mean, some horses are perfectly sound. There's not a thing wrong with them. And they play the game. They take them, they claim them, drop them, get the win. And 9 times out of 10, people do not claim them there.
Mm-hmm.
So, and if they do get claimed, they have the win plus the claim. They make some money and they get to move on.
So it's sort of a game of chicken then, right? I'm going to claim it, drop it. And the question is, there's something wrong with it. One of the things I always look for to see the claiming price and then the purse. Is the purse money today plus the claiming price enough for the trainer and the ownership group to be profitable if the horse does get claimed? If it's a loss, then I'm like, this one really kind of makes me a little nervous.
Then that might be a good clue for you to start worrying a little bit. But that's a game, and who knows which one it is going to be. Is the horse not the best in shape, or is they're just playing the game?
Okay. Well, as we move forward with the game, who do you like in your second spot here, race 3?
My second spot there is the 2. Tactical speed. The horse, he's got a hot jockey in the last 7 days, and he won last time out. So the horse is ready to rock and roll still. And then the 7 horse is my next pick. Has speed. This horse should be out in front, most likely. Cuts back in distance. He ships in today. Sometimes that's a negative, sometimes it's a plus, depending who the trainer is. Mm-hmm. This trainer does well when he ships in, so I would take it as a plus. And then my final choice today is the 5 horse. This horse drops today, has tactical speed. This horse is 5 for 9 at Churchill Downs, which is a big plus. Mm-hmm. So look for this horse to pick up some of the gimmicks and might even have a shot to win this race if a couple of things go his way.
Indeed. So, as far as shippers are concerned, I read actually and looked in some research that shippers a lot of times dull horses at one track, even if the trainer doesn't have the best shipping record, just the change of track or environment, sometimes it's one of the things they do to try to wake a horse up. Anyway, Summer Splash is my top choice here. This guy should be on the gas from go. And again, we see Brent Calhoun taking a horse from a sprint to a route, back to a sprint again, as I mentioned in the last race. That's a 30% angle for Mr. Calhoun, which is absolutely an alpha angle for him. Number one, cost basis is the Lone P horse, in a horse that had mostly some speed horses and some closers, but kind of got shaken up a little bit with the scratches. But whenever you get those lone, as you see on our way to the winners worksheet, whenever you get those lone horses at any one of those markings, you got to consider them in your picks. And I actually didn't put one in my picks yesterday. And when it won, I was kicking myself because it paid like $22. But anyway, you live and you learn. You got to make those notes and live up to your rules. Number 5, Belfast Boy. It was a tough call for me over to 2. But the numbers at Churchill Downs are better at Churchill Downs than the 2 horses, which is my 4th choice, numbers at FanDuel. It could be another speed horse in here, this 2 horse, but I don't know. I'm not a big fan of horses that go on the track rise. So FanDuel is definitely a cut down from Churchill Downs, probably more than a cut down. So I don't know that it'll be able to bring that form from FanDuel to Churchill. If it does, gets to the lead, could be very dangerous. But it's going to have to, like they say in Missouri, show me first. Race number 4, 1 mile, claiming $40,000. The purse here is $68,000. So they're running for a little bit of money in race number 4. Again, 1 mile on the main track does favor stalkers. Best post positions have been 4 through 7. 8 and out are fair. The inside 3, there is a penalty, especially if you're on the rail, which I'm going to kind of go against that in just a minute to give you a little bit of a foreshadowing. Again, in race number 4, we find a lot of similar early pace, a lot of similar late pace. This is another one of those races where a lot of horses on paper look very similar. One horse in here gets the very important left arrow horse, and I'll let you know, you don't get left arrow horses anywhere else. It's exclusive to horse racing today. Something I actually came across, one of those things accidentally, but it works. These left arrow horses are horses that, when you look at their typical race shape, in this case, the 3 usually likes to pressure or close, but it's normal pace out of the gates. It's going to put this horse really close to the front and should be one that does factor into the race, in my opinion. What's your opinion on this spot, Charles?
Well, let's put it this way. I do not have it in my picks.
You're gonna wish you did.
Maybe. But I really like the 1 here. I think this horse, he won last time out. Trainer gets 19% with when he has him 46 plus days off. This horse has that tactical speed. He could go to the front if he wants, or he could just sit in second or third. And so he's a very dangerous horse. But I believe the 5 would be my second pick in this race. This horse drops in class today. He's back at the claim level that he got claimed at. He's got a hot jockey in the last 7 days. So everything points for this horse to do some damage. And then the 7 horse is my 3rd choice. Won last time, drops today, got some solid works in him, so he should be ready to rock and roll. And then my final choice today is the 6, hot at the claim box. This is the 3rd race after I lay off my favorite angle and tactical speed, so he should be right there. Even could possibly even do some damage by winning this race.
All right. So I like the 1 horse despite the rail penalty as well, which makes me a little bit nervous, but overcome that with the fact that this horse has raced at Churchill Downs twice, won both of them. So certainly likes the track. And Mike Smith, the Hall of Fame jockey, said that Churchill can be quirky. So pay attention to how a horse trains and performs there, because it's usually an indication of how they'll run there. Again, 2-0. Does have the top early pace and late pace combination in the field. Number 4, my second choice, Gianna's Gift. First off the claim for trainer Robertino Diodoro, who is really good off the claims. And this horse has the best Churchill numbers in the group. You got to stick into that Mike Smith angle there. Number 3, Extrema is my left arrow horse, dropping in class. And it's a horse that's done a lot of damage at the distance. Ran it 5 times, 3 wins, nothing else. So it's an all or nothing horse at the distance. Left arrow, we'll give it a shot. Number 2, Tilting at Windmills. Once again, we find a horse that's the lone P horse in the field. So in between the speed and the closer. So if it goes too fast, the horse can be patient. If it goes too slow, can move forward. This horse has been really another one that's performed well at the 1 mile distance. 7 times out, only won once, 4 seconds and a third. So 6 out of 7 times in the money. And its history says, if you look at the resume, it will improve in the second start after a layoff. Race 5 is another 1 mile race, Charles. Let me put this in here as a marker so I can put the times in a little bit later on. Race 5, 1 mile, claiming $75,000, non-winners of 2 lifetime. The purse in this case is 72 grand. Got a couple things going on here today with the best bet and the box it up. Again, 1 mile, stalkers. There's a little bit of a rail penalty. Inside 3, a penalty as well. 2 through 4 through 7 perform best. 8 plus is fair. If we take a look at the way to the winner's circle for race number 5, again, we get a really interesting race shape here. You got the 2 horse being the lone speed, maybe the lone speed in here. Everybody else wants to pressure or close. In this case, we get 2 horses where they're usually in the closer's position, but in this case, the regular style coming out of the gate, just the regular doom, will put them closer to the front. They should move forward today and have a pretty good crack at factoring in race number 5. Charles, walk us through your thoughts for race 5.
This is a very interesting race. I ended up with the 1 as my first choice. This horse drops today, has that tactical speed. He looks like he would like that 1 turn mile. It takes some of these horses don't like the 2 turn mile, but boy, you give them on the 1 turn, they're a totally different beast.
Jack Christopher come to mind?
Yeah, that'd be definitely one of them.
Mm-hmm.
My second choice here is the 3, which I believe is an interesting horse here. 1 last time out, Cox gets 29% when he first time in route, and he's taking him first time in route around 1 turn, which is the proper way of doing it if you have the opportunity. Not too many tracks have the 1 turn. Hey, this could be even possible a great claim. Won't you grab $75,000, Rich? Let's do it.
Let's do it, baby.
All right.
Let me just pull the change out of my pockets.
Hey, I know it's chump change to you. I get it. And then my third choice here is the 2, third last time out, claim last time out, has speed. Could be another possible claim for you right there. The 2 and the 3 and the 1.
You're good at spending other people's money.
Hey, that's what I do best.
Mm-hmm.
And then the final choice here is the 7. Back on dirt today, tactical speed, fits with these type of horses. So let's see what he could do for the exotics.
All right. So race 5 is my best bet and my box it up. A box it up is where we put 4 horses together in an exacta box, trifecta box, and a superfecta box. It's a race where we feel like the odds favor some good payouts. So it's also my best bet. So I'm going to go with number 3, Slim Man, as my top choice in here. It is that left arrow horse that we spoke about. But when you look at the combination of early speed and late speed, has a 10-point advantage, according to my rankings, over every other horse in this field. So if this horse is anywhere near the competitors coming out of that turn, should have a pretty clean run to the finish line. It has a really nice workout between races. Number 2, American Icon. That's my man over there, Charles. He's an American Icon.
Yeah.
Did run better fractions last time out through 3/4 of a mile. And that race was at 6 furlongs versus 6 furlongs in the previous start. So in my book, that's actually running faster. And it is the lone E horse in here too. So I can get up on the lead and maybe make life difficult for my Slim Man best bet. Number 7, Brittany's Kitten is 0 for 2 on the Churchill dirt. And that might make some bettors run away. But if you dig a little bit deeper, you'll see that those Churchill Downs numbers are better than anything any other horse in this race has been able to produce. So kind of deceptive on that 0-2 mark. And then finally, number 1, Button Boy did run the top last race, big figure last time out, drops in class. And when you see that combination in your past performances, keep an eye on those horses. They perform very well. And if you look at all of the other horses in this field, the rest of them had just been bad lately. So they'll have to improve a lot to get in front of these four. So I really felt like these four were the best four in this race. And that's why they made it as my box it up. Charles, who are your best four for this race?
Well, I mean, like I just said, it
Oh,
was
you
the
went
same
through
as
that
yours.
already. Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
it's
yes.
the
I
same as
apologize.
yours, really.
Yes, I'm
And you're going to
confused.
claim any of them, right?
I'm going to claim them all. Hey, Scott, thanks for the comments. Giroux and Cox, period. Yeah, that's a good combination for certain down there. And if, like Scott, you have some thoughts, please share them with us in the comments section. Also, while you're here, hit the subscribe button on YouTube, thumbs up on Facebook, Twitter, and all that kind of good stuff. If you like what you see, thumbs up as well on YouTube. Race number 5 also ends up our hot dog pick for Charles. I think 2, 3, 4, and 5. If the ones do well, Charles is going to do well. Walk us through your thinking for your low-priced pick 4.
Well, the 5, my best bet of the day. I really think no one's going to touch that horse at the end. So, and then race number 3, I thought it was pretty wide open, and there's only I think 5 horses total in that race. So hit the all button if you think they're all going to be doing something. Race 4, I think it's a 2-horse race, 1 and 5, and then like you just said here in the race 5, you have it as your best bet and box. So I like the box part, and I think we should go out and claim one of these horses. So there it is, all 4 of them.
Let's do it. Let's go out and claim it for sure, Charles. That would be something. I wish we could do that. Maybe we get together. This is something we talked about, and we're going to have to look into the legal side of this. But as a group, like the Horse Racing Today community, everyone chip in some money and go buy a horse, and everybody will have equal shares, right? That it won't be one of these things where you get 0.1% of a share. You'll actually have shares. So it's something that we have in mind down the road. We're not there yet, but when we get there, it's something we certainly are thinking about doing. All right, race number 6, Charles Maiden claiming for $150,000. This one's more in your budget, my friend. 6 furlongs for a purse of $63,000. So you got to pony up for these horses, and you're not going to really get a whole lot of money if they get claimed away from you. I mean, for the purse. Race number 6 at the distance as we look at 6 furlongs again. Stalkers have done best. Wouldn't post 4 through 7. 1 through 3 and 8 and out get a slight penalty. We did not do the way to the winner's circle worksheet here because there's just frankly too many first-time starters. So Charles, when you have first-time starters versus experienced horses, how do you handle that?
Well, basically, I first go by the workouts. Are they very consistent? Every 6, 7, 8, even sometimes 9 days apart. If there's a consistency, the same amount of days apart, that's excellent for me. The times, I look at times a little bit, but not that much at all. And then of course breeding. Breeding tells me if they're ready for the first time out, or are they a horse that should be for the turf and they're on the dirt today. And sometimes the horses that should go long and they're going short.
All
So
right. So
there's
this
some
is your
horses like
box
that.
it up and your long shot. So take us through
Yeah.
all your thinking.
Yeah, this is a very good race. If you've got 150K in your pocket, go ahead and there's at least 4 or 5 of these horses that should be claimed. The 5 horse here is my first choice. The Dam has 1 winner out of 1 starter. This horse is extremely well bred, solid workouts. So this is my first choice out of all of them. My second choice here is the 8. The 8 is another one that's extremely well bred.
You know what's interesting? It's Blame Day. When I used to go to Arlington before they closed it down and sold it, Pat Day, he made his home there when I was much younger. When he was on our Horse Center show, I told him, dude, you're that guy for me. Every time I bet you, you lost. And every time I didn't bet you, you won. So I stopped betting on you. So you owe your Hall of Fame career to me. But anyway, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So the 8 horse is my second pick here. This horse is very, very well bred. This Dan has 2 winners from 2 starters, and both of them have been stakes winners. So she's producing very solid horses, solid workouts. And then my third choice is the 10. The 10 horse here ran 3rd last time out. He's off the turf, well bet the last time out. So I think they're looking for bigger and better things from this horse. So look out for him. And my final choice here today is the 2. The 2 is got tactical speed, well bet in the last race, well bred, fits with these type of horses. So let's get that 150K out and let's drop it on the one.
Mm-hmm. So Barry says, if we get that 150K out and we do buy a horse as a group, are you going to be the trainer, Charles?
I'll go back out and I'll get that trainer's license again.
All right.
It's got a little dust on it, but that's okay.
Are we going to feed him the good hay, or are we going to behave?
Oh, we will
says,
behave.
Yes. Pat Day was always the favorite at Arlington Park. Yes, he was indeed. He got the best horses, man. And it's a shame that they closed it. But I did buy this picture back here from the auctions at Arlington Park. So that used to hang up on the walls over there, a little memento. So when you see that, you can think of the good that they did over there. All right. So for me in race number 6, it's my long shot in here. And we ended up on the same horse somehow, Charles. Again, this is evidence that you're always in my computer. But 5 horse, great for Eloise, maybe. This one does, I think, have the best workout pattern in the group and the top pedigree scores. So the pedigree and the workouts are matching up. We'll see if they can take that game from the track, from the range to the course. Number 2, my second choice, Valiant Praise. Speed numbers for the experienced horses are considerably better than all the other speed numbers for the experienced horses. Number 8, Blame Day, third choice here. When I look through the workouts, that October 7th workout really stands out to me. 3 furlongs in 34 and 2. I don't care if you're trying to hide it or not, or you're really pushing it. 34 and 2 for a workout. It's pretty fast at 3 furlongs. Finally, number 10, Gold Blooded, improved from race 1 to race 2 in its 2-race career. And that was on Churchill Downs Dirt, and the Churchill Downs workouts since have been pretty solid. So again, a horse that, according to Mike Smith, if they run well at Churchill, they typically can run well at Churchill.
Did you also notice these last 2 races? Race 5 is your box it and best bet. I have the same exact horses, and then this is my long shot and box, and you have the same exact horses.
Yes, indeed, something odd there. It's just evidence 1,000% that you are a hacker.
Yes,
race 7
is okay.
6.5 furlongs. It is an allowance for $50,000, but you know what? It kind of scares me a little bit too, because it says what we see, everybody else is going to see, and the odds might not be what we hoped for. The allowance here at $50,000 for a purse of $72,000 in race number 7. If we look again at the profile of a winner, tactical speed works very well, especially if you have a 1, 2, or 3 post. Our way to the winner's circle returns for race number 7. When we looked, there were no scratches, and this race has some balance to it. 3 horses that want to pilot, 3 horses that want to ride in the back of coach, and one that kind of picks his, it wants to go where there's more open seating. Whenever you get these lone P horses, you have to, whether you like them or not, find a way to put them in your picks. If you're looking for the horses that have the most speed, the 1 and the 3 are probably going to be the ones that get out to the front. If you're looking for the horse with the most late pace, that's going to belong to the 1 here at 6 horse here. Charles, when this race is all said and done, which group do you think is going to have the winner, the closers or the speed horses?
Wow. I think it's going to be the closers, but it's interesting how I set my thing up. My first pick is a closer. Is the 5 horse. 1 last time out, claim last time out. You have that father-son combo, Steve Asmussen and the son. Tactical speed, but more on the closing side, like we just finished saying. Then I go speed as my second pick. 1 last time. This hot trainer in the last 14 days gets Tyler aboard. I see this horse winging it with the 1 horse, which is my third choice. Half speed, 1 last time. Rail gets 22% in this scenario. Trainer Wong gets 20%. In case people don't know who Wong is, he's originated from the West Coast, and he's coming his way east. He's an excellent trainer, so don't ever overlook him. And then I'm going back to a closer again as my final pick, which is the 2. Has that tactical closing speed. Ran 3rd last time out. He fits with these horses.
All right, I'm going to start off in race number 7 with the 1 horse. That's where we are, race 7. C's gets degrees. Yes, and they run the world, too. Isn't that what they say? The world is run by C+ students.
That's right.
He has plenty of early pace, and what I like about the fact that this horse has some giddy up and go, look at some clues in the last race, showed a little bit more at the end. So if you combine the early speed and the late speed, might be tough to catch, which might be tough to pass, which you can't catch. Number 3, unfortunately, is going to be the way of the world around here, certainly cold as hell. This is a horse that internal numbers, again, were better from the start to the middle to the end of its last race. 2 workouts in between races, including a blistering workout on November the 9th. So this horse should be sharp, fit, and ready to show up again. Number 6 is Mamayez, maybe. As I mentioned in the Way to the Winner's Circle worksheet, it is the lone P horse in here. Does have the most late speed and the best combination of early speed and late speed. So this one really should be able to pick the route it wants to take, hopefully to the Winner's Circle. And then finally, number 5, Pledge of Allegiance. First off the claim for trainer Steve Asmussen. Must like what he sees at the horse's performance at Churchill Downs, because it does have the best Churchill Downs history in the books of these horses anyway. Race 8, 6 furlongs. This one is a maiden for maiden special weight for 120 grand. The purse is 120 grand. We do not have a Way to the Winner's Circle worksheet. Again, too many first-time starters in here. 6 furlongs, once again, tactical speed, probably the best way to look for it. And then post 4 through 7, do the best. Everything else, a little bit of a penalty, not deal killers. Who's going to close the deal for you in race 8?
Another interesting race here, but yeah, I think this is the 8. I think the 8 has got a great chance here. Ran second last time out. Steve gets 19% when they're 46 plus days off. Solid Works gets Tyler. So yeah, he didn't put his son on this one. He puts Tyler, So I think they're going for this one. And then the 2 horse here is my second choice. Solid Works trainer gets 31% in a straight maiden. When he puts in a straight maiden, breeder bred very, very well. So look with this horse to do some damage. If not today, tomorrow, the next time out. The 4 horse here ran second last 2 times. Back on dirt. Trainer gets 17% when he's going from turf to dirt. Another good move. And then my final choice here is the 5. The 5's got some solid works. Dam has 3 winners from 3 starts. One of them is a stakes horse, and he's also bred very well.
Race number 8 for me, Charles. Let's take a look at what I think about race number 8. I'm going to start off like you, number 8 and 8. It's funny how that works out sometimes too. Have you ever noticed a lot of times like the race number and the number line up for the winners? Maybe I just notice it when it happens. What's that, like the Berenstain Bear effect for horse racing or something? But anyway, Flying Bessie did run the top last race speed figure in her debut. Some good workouts at Churchill Downs since, and this is our Chris Parmalou's angle. He says, look out for those horses trying to break their maiden that finished second in their previous start. He says it's banked a lot of money for him. Number 9, second choice in here. This thoroughbred is a $500,000 racehorse. First-time starter for trainer Brad Cox, and has some pretty nice workouts in there too. Number 2, Moment to Shine. Trainer Larry Ravelli, another one of those trainers like Jonathan Wong that might be off of your radar. Kind of more of the Illinois kind of guy up in here at Hawthorne, Arlington Park. But when he puts horses in maiden special weights as a debut, they do pretty good. They win at about 29%. It's had some very good workouts at Hawthorne. I would have liked to seen a very good workout at Churchill Downs, so that one's a kind of 50-50 for me. Then finally, number 1, Corner Kick. Hey, the World Cup coming up soon, so we got to have a little bit of a World Cup theme in here. But this one, the rail horse, does have a lot of good workouts getting ready. And I think having a jockey, Luis Saiz, who's going to compete for the racing title on board, is an indication that the trainer, the jockey's agent, think this horse have a pretty good shot to win this race. Otherwise, I don't think you get the leading rider on that one. Race number 9 is another 1-mile race. It's an allowance for $127,000, so a marquee race of the day. The purse is, again, for $127 grand. If we look at the kind of horse that you want at 1 mile, Stalkers have done the best. Post 4 through 7, 8 and out is fair. Inside 3, there is a penalty. We return to the Way to the Winner's Circle worksheet for the last 2 races here. Race number 9. Look at this setup, Charles. Everybody wants the lead almost, right?
Yep.
The 2, the 3, the 4, and the 5, they're all boxed off because they all have very similar early pace numbers. When I see this setup, Charles, you got to have the speed of the speed or the one with the most late punch. Oof, it's a tough call there. The one with the most late punch belongs to the 1 horse. I think the speed of the speed might prove to be the 5 horse, but these 2 back here are just going to be licking their chops, hoping that this wall of speed just goes blistering fast and they can jog on by as they hit the English Richard, as they hit the finish wire. All right, Charles, take over because I'm struggling to speak.
Yeah. Well, there's tons of speed in here, but I do agree that the 1 is the speed of the speed, and I just don't. I think he's going to go wire to wire in this race, and that's not very hard to do in a 1 turn mile. So this horse has that tactical speed. Trainer gets 13% when the horse has had 90 plus days off. So you got a fresh horse here. Looks like on paper that he would like the 1 turn mile. Gets Tyler. So what more can you ask for? And then my second choice here is another speed horse. I believe will hang on for a piece of the pie. Cuts back today. Well bet in the last 2 times it ran. Cox gets 23% when he has a 90 plus days off. Another fresh horse you got going here. And then I'm going to say the closer, the 6, will have a chance here to finish up some of the exotics. 1 last time out, claim 2 back. So he should be closing pretty good at the end. And then another speed horse might hang on for some of the gimmicks here. The 4 has that speed to do that. A hot trainer in the last 14 days. It looks like he fits with these type of horses. So I think he could get some of the pie.
Now, Barry's got the eagle eye. Thank you for catching that. I love the quality control, but you know what's going to happen now, right? I accidentally put the 7 in there instead of the 1. The 1 is in my notes has the right horse. So you know which one's going to win now, right? Changing it from the 7 to the 1. You know it. You just know it. So make sure you put $2 on the 7 to win as a saver bet because it always works out that way, at least for me. I don't know about you, Charles, but
that's true.
In race number 9, I do want the 7, I hope. This is Braganza. That's what Charles does all the time, a little bit Braganza-ing.
What? Me?
This
no
one
way.
just needs to run back to its Churchill Downs debut. Is a P horse, as I mentioned, sitting behind that wall of speed. It's going to, if it runs back to its debut and all those horses in front go too fast, could make easy work of this field. Number 2, Casa de Goat. That's also, this is my house, the home of the goat. This was another one that just needs to repeat her debut. But that one was at Keeneland and then tried to run at Churchill Downs and struggled in the second start. Been off since then. But if you look at the Churchill Downs works underneath, you see the horses maybe taking an affinity to the track lately. Number 1, Customer Driven. That's what we are here for sure. Did run the top last race speed figure and has a bunch of great Churchill Downs workouts getting ready for this race. And then finally, number 5, Romance Novel. That's what Charles spends his evenings doing, reading romance novels. As the most late pace in this field, could come in handy, again, when you're looking at a field that's just stacked at the front with horses that want to get on the gas and drag race out of the gates. Last race on the card, Charles, is race number 10. Let's take a look at race number 10 real quick. It is a 1 mile and a 16th. So we see this for the first time. It's a maiden special weight for 92 grand. Kind of horses you want at a mile and a 16th. Tactical speed with the rail getting a little bit of a bias here. Everything else outplays fair. So just a little bit of advantage if you have the best horse with the 1 horse. And then again, our way to the winner's circle for the last race here. Got some new markings on here. You see the side marks, the up arrows, there's no down arrows in here, but this indicates which direction these horses are moving in this maiden race. Some of these horses are shipping in from smaller tracks to Churchill Downs. So I feel like a maiden special weight $17,000 at Belterra is a step up to a maiden $92,000 at Churchill Downs. Again, the race shape here got a lot of horses that are backloaded. The 3 horse and the 7 horse, which are usually find themselves towards the back of the pack, they get that left arrow today. They're going to be in a different position. They're going to move forward, probably fight it off with this lone 6 horse, lone speed, lone early speed. Everybody's looking for it, Charles. Is that where you landed?
Well, pretty close. I was debating between two horses, and I ended up leaning towards the two. This horse ran second last time out, gets Tyler. This horse does much better going longer, so I believe this race is setting up for him. He should be sitting right where he would want to be to take over. The seven horse is the other one I was debating with. This, like you said, this horse has got that tactical speed, which is more on the closing side. The horse second race after a layoff definitely fits with these type of horses. I think he's one of them to beat. And then my third choice here is the 10. The 10 is more on the closing side of tactical speed. Trainer gets 31% when he puts him in the first time in a route. So we got that going on there today. And then the four horse is my final choice. Tactical speed ran well last time out, and he finished fourth. But a lot of people don't see that running well. Well, he did run well in that race. He ran pretty even overall. Fits with these type of horses. So look for this horse to do some firing this today.
I'm going to start off with number 8 in here. Accident is the top last race speed figure in this spot. Has the most late pace in the field as well. So we'll definitely be coming at the end. Number 6, Winter's Lion. Similar fractions last time out at 1 mile as it did in 6 furlongs in its debut. Again, if you run almost the same fractions, but you go a little bit longer, in my book, that's faster. This one should be a little bit better in its third career start and could get away with being the lone speed horse in the field, which could make it very difficult to catch. I'm with you, Scott. I like the D. Wayne Lucas horse here, number 9. It is a P horse that should be involved from the start, and the speed numbers in here are more than good enough to get the job done. And then finally, Motown Collection is my final choice, and I don't think we agree on one horse here, do we, Charles? So
No,
I
we do
hid
not.
my computer from you finally at the end. This is my left arrow horse in here with the top early pace, late pace combination, though I do feel like coming from Thistle Downs could be a big ask. That's why he didn't get rated any higher. It's also, Charles, this race does bring us to our prime rib pick 4. So let's take a look at that. You're going to go 4x4x4x3. I'm going to go 4x4x3x4. You just feel like that last race, which where we agreed on nothing, is the most obvious to you?
I think those are the top 3 horses. I actually think it's a top 2 horse race. I think it's a 2 and the 7s race, but I threw the 10 in there because he does have some talent and he could steal it.
Yeah, I feel like that 9th race, the 7 and the 2 and the 1 are your most, to me, they look like the 3 that stood out relative to the rest of the horses in the pack. So my ticket, my math today, I forgot to change. That's $96. So forgive me over $6, folks, if you might. How about the Blue Plate Special? That's what we call our hot dog pick 4. And we do that one over here, Scott. We did that one in race number 2, where we spend less than $20. This is surprisingly, from all the time of the many years I've been playing horses, I find that I do just as well when I do like a $20 or $25 pick 4 is when I spread out a lot more money. And maybe because you concentrate more, or I'm not, maybe you're more discerning in which horses you keep in your picks and which ones you take out. I'm not 100% sure why it works out that way, but it has. And I think it's been evidenced if you watch the show too on the ones that we hit. Again, looking at our full picks for the day, Charles is going to start off with his best bet in race number 2. My best bet and my box it up is in race number 5. That's where we put together 4 horses, exacta box, trifecta box, superfecta box. Charles is long shot and best bet. Long shot and box it up. I think is in race number. What race is yours, Charles?
Box up and
race number 6. So
yeah.
Right behind me. Forgive me for not putting that in there. A little bit quality control on the fly. And then again, our hot dog pick 4s, race 2 through 5. Our prime rib pick 4s, races 7, 8, 9, and 10. Charles. And again, another good place today, if you're going to bet some college basketball, there's a link in the description below to the picks with the professor. He is a little statistics professor. So you want to check out Dr. Sides' picks over here. He's also added in hockey. So he's got college basketball, college hockey, college football. That's a good place to be. And if you're going to do some wagering today at Mahoning Valley, guaranteed tip sheet in the description below, there is a link. Mahoning Valley are the free picks today. Starting off in race number 1 with Wildcat Dream as a best bet over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. Again, a link down in the description below. While you're here, if you haven't done it, kindly hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, so that when we go live, you'll be notified. Again, tonight at 8 o'clock, the always wonderful, entertaining, and fun CC Perkinson will be our guest this evening. That should be a great show, as they all are. That's on at 8 o'clock. Charles and I will be back tomorrow to do Aqueduct. On Friday, Thomas and I will be down at Ascot for Foreign Fridays in Australia. And then on Saturday, Charles and I will be back, and we will do Del Mar, some of your old stomping grounds. You looking forward to that?
Yeah, good old stomping grounds. I've been there many, many, many times. So
10 minutes to post to race number 1, folks. All right, so we'll get up and get out of here. Charles, any final thoughts before we get rolling on this hump day?
Well, this is the last day you could pick Team Terry and Charles as the big winners for the month and win that sweatshirt. Don't worry about Rich, because he's already struggling now. So,
but just to kind of fill you in on what Charles is talking about, we're running a monthly competition. In the description, in the handles below and the scroll bar, horse race the number 2 and day, horse race 2 day on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Go in and put your vote for Team Charles and Team Terry versus me. Right now, they're up about $600, or Team Rich. And at the end of the month, if you pick the right team, we'll take a name out of that hat and we'll get you a Horse Racing Today sweatshirt. So make sure you do that. No matter what else team you pick today, though, make sure, grab your nuts and let her rip. For sure. That's kind of what Kendrick Camus told us he tries to do when he gets out of the gates last night on our show, to make sure that his horse does get up and go. But whatever you do today, make sure you make it a fantastic day, and that your picks, and especially mine, Charles, that they end up in one place, and that can only be.
I guess that would be the winner's circle.
Thanks for joining us today. Look forward to seeing you tonight and tomorrow. Have a fantastic Wednesday.